we gotta talk. I have been watching the first couple episodes of the second season of Wheel of Time on Amazon Prime, and I am not happy. Not happy at all. The first season, when it first came out, I watched it, and I was like, oh, okay, this is pretty good, but to be fair, it had been a decade since I had read this, Wheel of Time. I know, my lighting sucks, but, because I got this 7th grade, about 8th grade, I finally got around to reading it, because I was on a plane when I got it. And then when the first season of Wheel of Time came out, I watched it. I was like, okay, this is all right. And then I reread the book, and I was like, what the fuck? A lot of things that were in the book were taken out, and then they added things that weren't even in the book that had nothing to do with anything of the story. Like, this book is minus the... Let's see. Okay, so my copy actually has a prologue for the second book in it, and then we've got the appendix thing, minus the glossary, minus that, it's 782 pages. It's a, let me see. Yeah, when I got this, the only books that were out were, it was up to Crossroads of Twilight. There are 53 chapters plus a prologue. Like, there is so much in this that you could have made a 20 episodes season, each episode like an hour long, and still had to have cut stuff from this. I mean, they cut Rand's reactions to when he first starts touching the true source. They cut Bella! Bella is a massive character. Like, I've been rereading them, and I'm in book 6, halfway through book 6, and Bella is still there. Bella is the horse that you first meet in the very first chapter, because when Rand and Tam are going to Emmons Field with Apple Brandy for Bell time, they have Bella with her because Bella is their horse, and she's the one that carries Egwene out. And when they're leaving, Rand doesn't want Bella to fall behind, and he touches Sidon. Helps give Bella the stamina. And that's when Moraine goes to Bella, and she's like, oh, she doesn't need it. And then when they get to Barrowline, or Barrowlan, where's the map? Where's the map? I need a map. There's maps in this. Which map? Prologue, Dragon Mount, maps. Okay. When they first get to... Okay, Barrowlan. When they first get to Barrowlan, that's when Rand has his first reaction to touching the true source. They completely cut that. And he has another reaction to touching the true source when they're on the Spray, Dolmen Bale's boat, because he's the one that rescues Rand, Matt, and Tom after the events of Shatter Logoth, because Tom was originally in Emmons Field and he left with them. And you don't get to see those reactions that tell you, hey, there's something up with Rand. And it's like the reactions are like a euphoric flu. And it's really cool. And they completely take it out. And like, why? That would have been fun to see. And then they completely decided, oh, we're gonna have Rand and Egwene already hooking up. Well, they never do that in the books. I mean, the first woman Rand ever sleeps with is Avienda, and it is this cute thing that happens. And they completely fucked that up. And then watching the books, he's already with Selene. I mean, that chick has to be Selene. Selene's Lanfear. She's one of the Forsaken. And when you first meet her in this, the second book, which is what the second season is supposed to be on, another really long-ass book that you could have done a 20-episode season with, and She's trying, like, they're hunting the horn because the horn is actually found at the Eye of the World. And the Green Man has been protecting the Horn of the Lair, the Dragon Banner, and the only clean source of Sidon. The Aes Sedai of the Age of Legends, like, put a whole bunch of Sidon in a pond, basically, and it's clean. You can, a male channeler can touch it without having to deal with the taint. They completely cut that from the first book, which also cut Loyal's memorial to the Green Man when the Green Man died, which is kind of sad. So I don't even know if they're going to have Loyal's ability to sing wood, which basically he goes up to a tree, sings at it, and makes something out of it. Like, sung wood is rare because the ability is rare, and Loyal's one of the few with it. And I don't even know if they're going to have it. And that ability, it involves the Tinkers. That whole, we're looking for the song thing, the sung wood and the Tinker's song is completely tied together. And I don't even know if they're going to have it. So are the Tinkers just looking for something that they're never going to find again? And they already have Rand sleeping with Selene, which he never does in the books. Never. I mean, he sees her dressed in only his shirt at one point, and he's just like, I gotta turn around. I can't see this. I can't see, like, that is how he reacts to it. And my dog is scared. She's just like, Mom's getting a little annoyed. But I am, like, I'm trying to watch this. And I'm like, this isn't Wheel of Time at all. It's Wheel of fucking trash. And, like, the whole scene with Perrin and the vision thing, that was actually Rand that had that. And he had to channel to get it to stop. Perrin can't see visions. He's not a sniffer. He just talks to wolves. And he has heightened senses because of it. Elias Mashera, you actually meet him in here because after the events of Shadow Logoth, he basically saves Perrin and Egwene because he feeds them. And I even marked this because, you know what? If they're going to change all the fucking characters, normally I wouldn't care about a race change. But you know what? He's actually described as a sun... Like, this is the paragraph. He had not spent as much time in the forests around Emmons Field as Rand or Matt, but still he had done his share of hunting rabbits. He crept from tree to tree without so much as snapping a twig. It was not long before he was peering around the bole of a tall oak with spreading serpentine limbs that bent to touch the ground, then rose again. Beyond lay a campfire, and a lean, sun-browned man was leaning against one of the limbs not far from the flames. At least he was not a Trolloc, but he was the strangest fellow Perrin had ever seen. For one thing, his clothes all seemed to be made from animal skins, and the fur still on, even his boots and the odd flat-topped round cap on his head. His cloak was a crazy quilt of rabbit and squirrel. His trousers appeared to be made from the long-haired hide of a brown and white goat. Gathered at the back of his neck with a cord, his graying brown hair hung to his waist. A thick beard fanned across his chest, a long knife hung at his belt, almost a sword, and a bow and quiver stood propped against the limb close at hand. The man leaned back with his eyes closed, apparently asleep, but Perrin did not stir from his concealment. Six sticks slanted over the fellow's fire, and on each stick a rabbit was skewered, roasted brown, and now and then dripping juice that hissed on in the flames. The smell of them so close made his mouth water. "You done droolin'?" The man opened one eye and cocked it at Perrin's hiding place. "You and your friend might as well sit and have a bite. I haven't seen you eat much the last couple of days." Elias stalked Perrin and Egwene because the wolves found Perrin. And then this is where Perrin starts touching the wolf minds. This is where he starts learning about it. This is when he meets Hopper. The whole incident with the White Cloaks, Perrin kills 2 White Cloaks at that point with his battle axe, which he has a battle axe that Master Luhan, the blacksmith of Emmons Field, had made for a guard who decided not to pay, and then he found Perrin practicing with it, and he gave it to Perrin when Perrin left. And actually, no, he gave it to Perrin before he left, but Perrin left with it. And, like, Perrin's whole character arc involves a hammer and that axe. But I digress. Perrin's my favorite character. Perrin, Elias, and Fael are my favorite characters in this entire book. But, that's when he meets Hopper. When he kills the two, White Cloaks. It's because he was in Hopper's mind when Hopper died. Like, he freaks out, basically goes beast mode on them, murders them. Him and Egwene get captured. And you know who saves them? Moiraine, Lon, and Nynaeve. They save them. Along with Elias and the wolves. Like, Lon even makes a mention when they save them that I saw a couple wolves. It was like they wanted me to see them, and he's confused about it. He doesn't realize that Perrin is a wolf brother, and the wolves are trying to help him. They also completely cut the dream sequences with Perrin after he meets the wolves, because after that, every time he has a dream, it's a normal dream where he's doing normal things, but there's always a wolf in the dream because the wolves are protecting him, because they view him as a brother. And then in the second book, there's this character, Huan, who is the sniffer. He sniffs violence. Like, if I murdered someone, he would smell that violence on me, and he would be able to track me with it. And that's how they're following Padan Fain, his Trollocs, and his Dark Friends. And at one point, Loyal, Huan, and Rand get transported to another world. It's kind of like an if world, like how the world would be if something else happened versus what did happen. And they're in this world. This is where they meet Selene, and she's just like, you can be powerful, and she's trying to, like, put these thoughts of grandioseness, whatever you want to call it, in Rand's mind. And Rand doesn't want that. He doesn't want to be a great man. He just wants to be him. And she's trying to influence him to sound the horn when he finds it. And Huan's with him, and Perrin has to embrace his wolf brotherness in order to keep tracking Padan Fain. And that's when he learns his name from the wolves. They call him Young Bull. And Elias's name from the wolves is Longtooth, because he has a very long dagger that he uses. And the way that Robert Jordan does it is so good. And, like, there's all these times where the boys are all talking to girls, and they're just like, well, Perrin knows how to talk to girls, or Matt knows how to talk to girls, or Rand knows how to talk to girls. None of them know how to talk to girls, but they think the others know how to talk to girls. And it's cute, and it's adorable, and it gives you character growth. And there's none of that in this show, because they decided, oh, we're going to put in sex appeal. There's no sex appeal in these books, and the books are amazing. And if you're just watching the show and you have not picked up these books and read it, read them. Like, get the books, read them. If you can't sit there and read a 700-page book, like I can, because, I mean, it's been taking me a while to get through this, but that's just because I've been reading other things at the same time. But normally I can read a book like this in a week. Like, I'm a fast reader. I end up missing things, so that's why I reread books a lot. But if you can't sit there and read a 700 to 900 page book in a week like I can, get it on audiobook. And don't, like, I like Rosamund Pike. I'm not gonna say she's a bad actress. I like her. I loved her in Doom. That was a good movie. I loved her in that. But don't get the Rosamund Pike ones. Get the ones with, what's his name? Because I have been, while I'm at work, I've been listening to these at work. It's... Oh, that's World of Wheel Time. Let's see. Michael Kramer, Kate Reading. Depending on point of view, depends on which one's reading it. Get from there don't let Amazon know that, hey, people are enjoying your Wheel of Trash show. It is trash. Like, I'm sitting here playing Ostriv with my phone right here so I can watch it, and I'm yelling at it, and my dog is just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, even my poor cat's just like, well, it's a little crazy, but it drives me insane that they're changing it so much. Like, Perrin is the wolf brother. It's an old thing come back, and every time the wolves talk about it, they're just like, we remember when man ran with us. And it was before even Aes Sedai in the Age of Legends. That's how old Perrin's ability is. And it doesn't involve visions. It's just talking to wolves. Like, the only, like, vision thing that he gets is he has somewhat of a dreamer's ability, and he can enter the world of dreams. And, which is really cool. Because, I mean, wolves are fucking awesome. But, it's an ability that he actually shares with Egwene. Because Egwene gets prophetic dreams, and she can enter the dream world as well. And that ties into when she goes to the Aiel Waste with Rand. Like, the way that the books are, the show could have done in 20 episodes, like how old shows used to be, where you would have a show that was like 20 episodes, a season, and they could have done that with these books, and it would have been way better than what we're getting. What we're getting is they're cutting things, they're giving other things to other people. Like, Matt is not a bad person in the books. Like, when you first meet him, he's hiding from Master Luhan because he took his dogs, covered them in flour. This is after he tells a 14-year-old kid about ghost hounds, covers these hounds in flour, releases them on the green, and he didn't know that they were going to go straight back home and cover the house in flour. And Master Luhan's wife is now pissed off, so Matt is hiding from Master Luhan because he tried to play a trick on a kid. Like, he's not a thief, he's not a bad person. His dad is respected in the town. He's not some womanizing cheater. They're changing things that don't need to be changed. Moraine is never stilled in the books at all. She actually, everybody actually thinks she dies at one point. She just goes to another world. But they're changing it, and they're adding things that don't need to be there. Like, the whole scene with Master Dolman and the Heartstone, and he's just like, it's broken, and I will pay you, and I will give it to you for 50 marks. That never happens in the books. Never. Like, he's got one of the seals, and Dark Friends and Trollocs are chasing after him for this seal. And there's one point in book 2 where they're trying to, like, trap him, but he's smart, and he manages to not get trapped. But that's never in there. And he's got the seal, and they're chasing him for the seal because they want to break the seal. Because it's one of the seals that Lews Therin and his 100 companions made to re-trap the Dark One. And they're changing it. And there's no reason to change it. But they're changing it because they think they can do better. It's like, no. And then I heard the writers are all like, oh no, it's just another retelling of the turning of the wheel. Yeah, it's a retelling of the turning of the wheel when the Dark One wins. The Dark One is winning in this. And anybody who's going, oh, this show is amazing, you're helping the Dark One win. And that is my rant. I gotta get thinking about work. But fuck you, Amazon. The books are better. Follow the books, and you will make an amazing show. When people tune in to watch Wheel of Time, we are wanting to watch this come to life, not whatever atrocity that you are making. Because it is an atrocity. It is... You are spitting and taking a giant fat shit on Robert Jordan's grave. I am sorry, but that is what you are doing. You are desecrating an amazing author's grave. This is like going to Cleopatra's grave and taking a shit on her grave. That is what you are doing to Robert Jordan. And that I'm done. I'm done yelling. My dog is looking at me like I'm crazy. Have a great day. I know I'm not.